the big underlying goal of establishing a little bit more of a formal course for nutrition principles is that our nutrition basically sets the stage for everything else. Getting strong is definitely a physical process that requires solid training, good programming, but understanding the basics of nutrition will really go a long way in helping you meet aesthetic goals, general health goals, and ultimately training goals. Okay. Basically, nutrition boils down to this for me: complicate to profit, simplify for results. And what I mean by that is go look on Amazon and see how many diet books there are out there. There are so many. And what basically the health and fitness industry is I'm coming up with this system for myself. I'm going to see if this system works for me. And then I am going to write out this system specifically so that people can follow it. And then if it works, which it probably will, if it has some of these basics that we'll talk about, then I'm going to say like my system's the ultimate system. What I want to do is help you create your own system. And a lot of that just requires you having the understanding of how we add weight and how we lose weight. And then basically how to make up your own personal diet, okay, to reach whatever goals you want to do. And obviously, you reach out to me and say like, this is what I need to do or this is what I want to do for aesthetics or X, Y, Z. And I can help you plan that out. And we can go over some of those things specifically. The other big thing is I think we all have these weights in our head. Like, this is what I want to weigh because it's like, it just sounds good. At the end of the day, if you look good and feel good, you don't give a crap what weight you're at. All right. I never thought I would be like plus 200 pounds when I was like 20 years old. I'm like, oh, that's, but like, I feel better. I'm way more athletic because mostly I'm just I have more muscle. So these numbers that we attach to in our head, they don't often serve us because what we care about is being happy, being healthy, and performing. So some of that detachment is really just a mindset thing, and it's okay. We all struggle with this. We have to eventually move beyond some of those things, but I want to give you the principles to feel confident in doing the things you need to do to get to where you want to be. Okay. So this will probably be a 5 or 6 part short series of how to set some of this stuff up, and then definitely use me as a resource for any specific tactics or strategies. Ultimately, it is going to come down to like what works for you. And I will lay out what works for me and what makes me happy. And then it's also phases. Like right now I'm tracking my diet very, very closely because I kind of fell into a few bad routines where I wasn't really eating enough, and that doesn't support my goals. So you may have seasons where you eat a little bit more or you change things up, but you having the tools to do this yourself is really the goal. Okay. Excuse me. So the big underlying thing, this is the crux of most nutrition and diets, is we need to understand what calorie balance is, what creating a calorie deficit is, and what a caloric surplus does. Okay. So basically, if you look at the energy balance equation, it's, am I taking in an equivalent amount to what I am putting out, what I'm burning? If you do that, you are not going to move very much. There's obviously tons of fluctuation. Like we can fluctuate in body weight 5 to 10 pounds on a daily basis. Okay. If you want to lose weight, you have to create a caloric deficit. All of the actual evidence points to this. Okay. There are people who like calories don't matter, gurus that say this, but all of the scientific data and frankly, like the commonsensical look at this stuff is that calories do matter. Like 50 pounds of broccoli might be better for you than 50 pounds of Oreo, or not 50 pounds, 50 calories of broccoli might be better for you than 50 calories of Oreos. Sorry. But they might have some amount of difference in your body. But one, let's be honest, who only eats 50 calories of Oreos? Nobody. We consume way more than that. The other is that's kind of looking at the trees instead of the forest. And what I mean by that is we need to look at the whole picture and then figure out what's a good plan for us. Okay. So a big starting point is this, and I will go over calculating your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure again. But we need to basically know about how much we are burning on a daily basis. And this is based on a lot of data that will account for the thermogenic effect of food, which is your TEF, how physically active you are, and then your resting metabolic rate. Okay. We also need to know how much like protein we're taking in, how much fat we're taking in, how many carbohydrates we're taking in. It doesn't have to be perfect for health purposes. You can really get away with, I'm going to eat lean protein, vegetables, some fat, healthy nuts and stuff like that, fruit, and some things like potatoes and oatmeals and stuff. If you actually just ate that stuff and figured out a decent amount for you and then tracked your weight over time, you could get yourself going in the direction you want to go. Is it easy? No. Is it super specific? No. Tracking is going to hold you accountable, and it's also going to like allow you to see how this actually works, but you don't necessarily have to track. Is it a good thing? Yes. I think it should be something we all do, just like our budget or something like that, because it helps keep us accountable and it puts us on the path a little bit better. Okay. But energy balance really accounts for it's the big base of the pyramid for this stuff. Okay. All this other stuff about hormones and, metabolism and all, there are those things. They're like taking supplements if your diet is crap. Taking supplements if your diet is crap isn't going to correct for the fact that the base is not there. Okay. Calories in, calories out, good rest, and effective training are like the big pieces to get us where we want to go. Now, does that mean we should be eating like crap all the time? But as long as it's low calorie, we're okay? No, you should be taking in healthy foods and that type of stuff. But people just overcomplicate this, and it's definitely to profit. Okay. Finally, stop worrying so much about some of these other things that cloud our vision when it comes to this. Calories are just units of energy. That's really all it is, scientifically speaking. We are still rooted in the laws of physics. We, as a living organism, burn an amount of calories every day by the activities we do. And we need to replace that if we're looking to maintain. We need to create a little bit of a deficit if we're looking to lose over time. And then if we're looking to actually add muscle, then we should look to add in extra calories to help build muscle. So just don't worry about the 90 variables that people throw at you. Focus on the things that are going to move the needle. If you're looking to lose weight, we need to understand how much you're taking in, how much you really need, and then how to create a deficit that's sustainable to you while eating foods that are healthy most of the time, and also like not cutting off everything, like the joys of life from pizza or ice cream or any of that good stuff. Okay. The better you get at this, the more flexible you can be. The closer you are to like your target weight, the more difficult it's going to be to like really shed that last 5 pounds. But it's also more easy to have flexible strategies that kind of allow you to have some amount of sanity. Okay. So this is the first video in this series. I will start to layer on a little bit more from this, but this is the foundation right here, is understanding that we need to understand that calories are units of energy, and that if we focus on the big components of a nutritional system, and that underlying one is calories in, calories out, we can make a lot of progress towards both fueling ourselves for performance and reaching our weight and aesthetic goals. The next video will be a repeat of macronutrients, their particular energy or caloric content, and then how to maybe start looking at building a little bit of a macro plan like a macronutrient plan.